What do your phone, a brand new car, and a jet engine all have in common? You might be surprised, but they all start as a simple list, a recipe. It's called the Bill of Materials, and it literally details every single part needed to build them. But here's the thing. For decades, that super important recipe has been under a ton of strain. And honestly, right now, it's pretty much at a breaking point. All right, so how did we even get here? In this explainer, we're going to follow the entire journey of this fundamental blueprint. First up, we'll talk about its role as a product's DNA. Then we're going to pinpoint exactly where the cracks start to show, and trust me, it leads to some serious chaos. And finally, we'll get into the really cool part, the powerful solutions that are fixing this broken system, and why this whole thing matters way more than you probably think. Okay, so first things first. Before we can really dig into the problem, we have to understand the tool that's at the heart of making, well, literally everything. And this is the Bill of Materials, or BOM for short. Now, don't think of it as just a shopping list. It's way more than that. It's the product's DNA. It's this super structured blueprint that dictates exactly what goes where, from the tiniest little screw all the way up to the main chassis. Seriously, absolutely everything that gets manufactured has one of these at its core. And, in its simplest form, it works perfectly. Let's imagine you're building a chair, right? Super simple. First, you design it in some software. Then you list out the parts in the BOM. 4 legs, 1 seat, 8 screws. Easy. The factory gets that list and, boom, they assemble the chair. And for a really long time, this simple approach was totally fine. It was enough. But what happens when you're not building a simple chair anymore? What happens when your product is this complex beast of mechanics, electronics, and software all tangled together? Well, that's where the blueprint starts to break. So, the big question is, what exactly goes wrong? Where are the weak spots? How does this once reliable tool turn into something that causes massive headaches, huge delays, and costs companies a ton of money? And listen, we're not talking about minor typos here. These are huge systemic failures. Just imagine the absolute nightmare of trying to keep track of versions when everyone's using their own separate spreadsheets. Or the chaos when one team calls a screw A101 and another calls it fastener B. You're just asking to order the wrong part. Every single one of these mistakes creates a ripple effect down the entire production line, leading to insane amounts of rework and just skyrocketing costs. And believe it or not, the problem goes even deeper than that. It's not just that the list itself is broken. It's that all the different teams, well, they all need to see that list in completely different ways. It's like they're speaking different languages. Just take a look at this. The engineering team has their version, the eBOM, which is all about how the product is designed to function. But the manufacturing folks, they need an mBOM that tells them how to actually build the thing. Assembly steps, tools, all that. And then you've got the service team, and they need a totally different list, an sBOM, just for spare parts. So what's the result? You've got 3 different teams with 3 different versions of the truth for the exact same product. Yeah, you can probably see where this is going. And this is where it gets really dangerous. An engineer makes a crucial design update, right? Well, that change doesn't automatically filter down to the other teams. The BOMs turn into these disconnected islands of information. And that, right there, is how a factory ends up building 1,000 brand new products with a part that was made obsolete yesterday. Ouch. So to fix all this chaos, the industry needed a hero. They needed a way to create one master recipe, a single source of truth that everyone could use in their own language, but one that was always in sync. And that solution is called Product Lifecycle Management, or PLM. Think of a PLM system as the central hub, the main brain. It manages every single piece of information about a product, from the very first napkin sketch all the way to its retirement. It's the air traffic control tower that connects all those departments and all their data, making sure no one crashes. And this is what that single source of truth actually looks like. And spoiler alert, it is not another spreadsheet. It's a rich, complete digital model of the product, basically a virtual twin. This thing brings together the mechanical parts, the electrical systems, the software, everything into one unified whole. So everyone, from the designer to the person on the factory floor, is looking at the exact same up-to-the-second information. Okay, now let's really raise the stakes. Because in some industries, getting this wrong isn't just about losing a bit of money or a few days on the schedule. In the world of aerospace and defense, a single mistake in the BIM can be, well, catastrophic. I mean, just think about what this quote is saying. In aerospace, every single part has to be perfectly traceable, all the way back to where it came from. If just one of those records is missing, that's not a paperwork problem. That's a potential safety disaster that can ground an entire fleet of airplanes or put a vital defense program at risk. We're talking about lives here. And the consequences? They are severe. We're talking about million-dollar fines for a single violation of regulations like ITAR. A company can lose its AS 9100 certification, which basically means they can't make anything anymore. One counterfeit part can get an entire fleet of aircraft grounded, sending shockwaves through the whole defense supply chain. The stakes, honestly, could not be higher. So where does all of this leave us? Well, it brings us to the future. And the ultimate solution isn't just about having a better to-do list. It's about a complete fundamental shift in how we even think about what a product is. This right here, this is the whole revolution in one idea. The bill of materials is being demoted. It's not the boss anymore. The real master, the true source of truth, is the complete virtual model of the product. The BOM? It's now just one of many reports you can print out from that master model. So, this is the evolution in a nutshell, right? We're ditching the static, boring list, and we're embracing this living, breathing digital twin. We are finally breaking down those walls between the mechanical, electrical, and software teams. We're not just making a record of a design anymore. We're simulating the entire experience, from day one all the way to its last service call. It's a complete paradigm shift. And that leaves us with one last, really big question to chew on. If the core blueprint for everything we make is no longer just a list of parts, but a living, breathing, interactive digital twin, what does that actually mean for the future of making things? What incredible new possibilities does that unlock? It's pretty amazing to think about.